Now on Coast TV News.
Families spending time together during Labor Day, but for others, they're still on the clock. Hunters in Delaware, why they are facing less restrictions as some hunting seasons begin today. The largest Powerball jackpot, number 5 of all time. How much money you could win tonight.
And we'll be walking on sunshine for the next few days in a row. More on that coming up.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
Soaking in the sun on a 3-day weekend. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf. We begin tonight with the last bits of summer here on Delmarva. Let's take a live look at the Bay Bridge heading westbound. Everybody heading home after a long weekend. This is a live view. You can see cars on all 3 lanes of the bridge, and we checked, and the latest update from the Maryland Transportation Authority said there were 10-mile backups just a little bit ago, and overall about 345,000 cars were expected to travel the Bay Bridge this weekend. Again, those 10-mile delays and two-way traffic not in effect due to all of those cars. And all those cars, before they were there, they were here on the coast. Labor Day meant to be a day off for many, but a lot of people were on the job. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zipay shows us how workers spent the day and why many say this Labor Day feels slower than years past.
Enjoying the beach, shopping along the boardwalk, and eating out with your family. These are just some of the things people are doing on their extra day off. But something all 3 of these have in common are workers.
That would be 2120.
Tammy Deppner works at OC Socks near the Ocean City Boardwalk and says she works on Labor Day every year.
I enjoy working. I enjoy Ocean City. I'm just surprised that I could get over the 50 bridge as quick as I did this morning.
Although she's behind the counter working the register, no one seems to be coming in the shop, a common trend she's been seeing throughout town.
We don't know if it's the economy, the tariffs, or just the weather. Everybody didn't come in because of the storm last weekend for Jeep Week. We thought we'd come back this week, but nope.
We went around to ask how other businesses are doing this Labor Day weekend, and everyone but one establishment said they're doing worse. The owner of Sharky's Grill has been working behind the grill all day today and is hoping to cook more throughout the day.
This year's slow a little bit, and I feel it too.
Businesses are hoping that they'll see more cars and people during Oceans Calling and Country Calling this fall. I'm Kevin Zipay in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
Here's some more details. As Kevin mentioned, the next big event businesses in OC are looking forward to is Oceans Calling. That's September 26th and goes through the 28th. Big events like Oceans Calling have been described as an economic win for Ocean City as they bring tourists in kind of the off-season. The Oceans Calling Music Festival will feature artists like Green Day and Lenny Kravitz. And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, how did you spend Labor Day? Let's take a look at the results so far. 20% say they had a beach day, 54% say backyard barbecue, 13% say local events, and 13%, like Paul and myself, say working today. If you haven't voted yet, you can still do that at coasttv.com or the mobile app. For many people on Delmarva, hunting is a sport, a hobby, or a livelihood, and a new law would have required hunters between the ages of 18 and 21 to have supervision. That's no longer the case. Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken is live in Georgetown, and Emma, the judge said Delaware's law was going to violate the Second Amendment.
Maddie, I'm here in the Redden State Forest where you can hunt if you choose to. Originally, starting today, that 2022 law requiring supervision would have gone into effect. That's no longer the case, and it's welcome news for hunters I spoke with. The bill that would have required supervision was part of a number of gun safety bills signed in 2022 after mass shootings. Advocates say it was for safety. One hunter we spoke with says he's happy that people between the ages of 18 to 21, like his children in the future, will not need supervision.
I've been hunting since I was their age, and he's been hunting for 3 years, he's 6, and she's been hunting for 4 years, and she's 9. So I think by the time they're 18, they'll be ready to go.
I spoke with some people off camera who say they understand why it might be necessary for that 18 to 21 age group too needs supervision in their opinion, but that won't be necessary as some Delaware hunting seasons start today. Reporting live here in Georgetown, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
Let's go ahead and take a live look outside into Lewis. Absolutely perfect day on the canal there. As we check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams, on our forecast. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Maddie. And right now, we're actually just enjoying the best of both seasons, you know, coming off the end of summer, going into fall, not too cold, not even chilly, just comfy. And that's what we're having here in Ocean View as well. Got a helmet of camera. We're at 72 degrees, actually. And then we're going to drop back down to 67 degrees with a few scatter clouds in place for us by 9 o'clock. Now, we're in the 70s right now. We're at 71 in Lewis, Bethany Beach, Rehoboth Beach. But as we go farther inland, we're holding at 74 degrees in Georgetown, as well as Gumboro, Del Mar, Millsboro, and 75 right now in Bridgeville, as well as Seaford. Listen, the waves have gone up just a little bit more, so we're at 4-foot waves for right now, but the winds are primarily coming out of the northeast for the most part. But the ultraviolet index is going to stay on the high side once again. Very high. You could actually get burned within 35 minutes. Just be mindful of that, because even though it feels cooler, you can still get sunburned pretty easily, actually. But as far as watches and warnings are concerned, we're okay. We're set to be okay. We have a small craft advisory down towards Chincoteague, but that's way down there in Chincoteague, not necessarily right here with us.
All right, Paul, thank you. Shooting a gun while under the influence. That's what state police say they arrested a Selbyville man for. Police say they responded to the scene around 9 p.m. on August 30th. First responders arrived at Knowles Lane, where they described a man as highly intoxicated, shooting at his own feet and also in the direction of a home where 2 people were inside. According to troopers, Justin Glowacki is facing multiple charges. Maryland State Police are investigating the death of a 24-year-old man at the Eastern Correctional Institution in Somerset County. Authorities say Danielle Morris, an inmate, was found unresponsive in his cell on August 31st. Maryland State Police say a suspect, also an inmate, has been identified. He has not been charged at this time. Today kicks off Pain Awareness Month, if you weren't aware, and more than 51 million Americans report living with chronic pain. Neurosurgeon and Dr. Sanjay Gupta says pain occurs in your brain, and acknowledging it may help you find relief. He'll illustrate this with an interesting analogy.
People who don't have limbs anymore, phantom limb pain, for example. How does that happen? How is the brain creating pain in a part of the body that doesn't even exist? There's a lesson in there, and that is that all pain is in the brain, which is an opportunity, I think, to try and control it.
Gupta says the first step to managing chronic pain through your brain is identifying another factor, maybe depression, anxiety, poor sleep, or even loneliness. This Labor Day, millions of Americans are hoping to strike it rich. The Powerball jackpot has surpassed $1 billion. Everybody kind of wondering, how would they spend their spoils if they won? Jesse Kirsch shows us how this is the 5th largest Powerball grand prize of all time.
What better way to celebrate Labor Day than by figuring out how to never have to work again? I think I've got my answer right here with my Powerball winning ticket. We'll find out tonight if I am taking home what is approaching a record jackpot. Right now, Powerball says it sits at an estimated $1.1 billion. That makes it the 5th largest Powerball grand prize of all time. And to put this into perspective, there have only ever been 6 Powerball grand prizes that have topped $1 billion. So this is some serious money. Of course, we're talking pre-tax there, but even after taxes, you're taking home quite a bit of cash. I think I've got the winner right here, but the odds are very much stacked against me. Powerball says the odds of winning are about 1 in 292 million. So the question is, will I be taking home the grand prize? Will anyone be taking home the grand prize, or will it keep on growing? We will find out tonight, but one thing is for certain, you got to be in it to win it. Back to you.
Mystery full update. Who saltwater cowboys think this pony's mother could be?
And we're looking clear and quiet for tonight, but big, beautiful sunshine is in the forecast. Details on that coming right up.
But first, people looking out to the water. We take you to Delmarva's skipjack races up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
It would not be Labor Day on Delmarva or Deal Island specifically without the skipjack race. And today, the 66th annual race went off without a hitch. Plenty of people flocked to the beach and grabbed their high-powered viewing tools, knowing it's really the only way to catch a glimpse of these historic vessels out in the Chesapeake Bay. The race holds an iconic space on Deal Island because it helps to keep a dwindling tradition alive.
There used to be hundreds of these on the Chesapeake Bay. We're down to a fleet of about 23, I think the number is. And it's a whole culture, it's a whole lifestyle. And so these races that are happening on Chesapeake Bay, there's 3 in the month of September, are an attempt to preserve that culture, that legacy that is really uniquely Maryland.
Most of the skipjacks in today's race are working vessels, and with oyster dredging season coming up, the race gives crews the opportunity to make sure their boats are in working order. It's almost time to celebrate all things that make Delmarva great. Everybody is invited to the Shore Living Expo. There's local vendors, live demonstrations, and more. It's all kind of about health, wealth, and home. It's all happening this Saturday from 10 to 4. I'll be there at the Wicomico Youth and Civic Center in Salisbury.
Here's a look at your Bay forecast. Temperatures in the 70s for the first 2 days, and we'll clock some 80s before the week is done. You're going to want to really get the details on this sunshine roller coaster we're going to be on for this coming week. We have high pressure that's working in our favor, blocking all the bad weather away so that we can enjoy all this beautiful stuff here. And I say, hey, bring it on, right? Our Irish ice camera in Lewis, 73 degrees. Dew point temperature 63, so we have a little more moisture in the atmosphere. It feels a little warmer thanks to that. We'll have temperatures dropping down to 67 degrees as early as 9 o'clock with partly to mostly clear skies. We're in the 70s right now. We're at 71 in Lewis, but 74 in Milton, Milford, 74 degrees right now in Georgetown, 74 also in Delmar and Gumboro, 73 in Dagsboro. The winds coming out of the northeast, it's always a little more blustery for us at Indian River Inlet, but between 20 down to as low as 10 to up to 20 mile per hour wind gusts occasionally. And that's the flow of things at this present time over the entire Delmarva Peninsula, and it's pretty cooperative. I mean, we have a couple of sprinkles well off in the water, but nothing that's going to pose us concern. Now, August is over, and keep in mind, listen, we had basically rainfall at about 2 1/4, which is a bit below our norm, so we've been dry for August, so to speak. But as you take a look at the temperatures, though, we're looking at, for the last 31 days, we've only had a few days where it's above the norm. It's been a below normal last 31 days, actually, from a statistical climatological standpoint. So we've been a bit cooler. By the way, Shore Living Expo, Saturday, September the 6th, Wicomico Youth and Civic Center. We're looking forward to continue to stay cooperative there with temperatures in the 70s. Now, our forecast, 76 for Georgetown with the winds out of the east-northeast. We're looking at 76 for the high in Cambridge and Vienna, and we're looking for a high of 76 for the high in Snow Hill. Along the coast for Tuesday, we're looking at 72 in Rehoboth Beach, but 75 Ocean City, as well as Bethany Beach and in Lewis. Tuesday morning, we see cloud cover bulking up around Long Neck, Selbyville, Fenwick Island, but mainly clearing a lot of other locations. We clear out for the afternoon for everybody. And then as we go into, let's say, Wednesday morning, we start off in the 60s. We'll bounce right back to the upper 70s pretty quickly and easily for Wednesday. But on Thursday, we start warming up even a little bit more. One quick thing to keep in mind, we're looking at wall-to-wall sunshine for the next few days in a row. We're going straight 8s across the board, which means we're at a very high level with the UV index. So yes, you will need to use the sunblock. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're looking at sun and clouds with temperatures staying in the 70s, and it's going to stay clear. Now, Thursday, we keep a close eye on a wall of rain that's going to approach us, but the early models indicating that it's going to float to the north and away from us, kind of dodge us in that sense. We may have a sprinkle or two trying to develop as we go into Friday. So for tonight, staying quiet, cool beach breeze. Tomorrow, scattered cloud cover and 75. Wednesday, bright sunshine mixed with some clouds. Finally, here's a look at your extended forecast. Now, we are going to be looking for a good deal of sunshine and warmer weather by Thursday, Friday.
All right, Paul, thank you. Take a look at this. This is part of Route 13 where Dover police say a hit-and-run crash killed a 62-year-old woman. Police say a Toyota Avalon hit 62-year-old Barbara Benson, a pedestrian, around 2:30 a.m. Dover police are searching for who they believe to be the driver. They say that's Aaliyah Graves of Chestertown, Maryland, and there are warrants for her arrest. After a 7-hour effort by saltwater cowboys and veterinarians, A 12-year-old Chincoteague pony named Sunny's Legacy has died. According to the Chincoteague Volunteer Fire Company, the mare was found Friday lying down and grazing, but unresponsive. Saltwater cowboys say there were multiple attempts to save her, but a veterinarian told the fire company that Sunny's Legacy was experiencing seizures at the end before ultimately passing away. Labor Day is the last day of summer travel for many Americans, and across the country, people are flocking to airports and hitting the highways. While travel numbers rise, Marisa Parra shows us details on how holiday weekend travel is going.
Hey, good morning. It is bright and early, and let me tell you, it is already busy here at Miami International. On the other side of the camera, what you can't see is there is already an almost 25-minute wait at the security line that's closest to us. TSA projecting to screen roughly 17.4 million passengers for the entire Labor Day stretch. That is from last Thursday until Wednesday of this week. And so we are seeing those numbers, but we are also seeing some delays. We saw the weekend got off to a little bit of a bumpy start. We saw severe weather impacting flights in Texas, across the plains, in Florida. We saw ground stops, cancellations, delays as a result of various airports in Texas and in Florida. And of course, we saw the ripple effect that caused. But then on Thursday, this whole travel period got off to a bit of a bumpy start because we saw in that SkyWest flight to Austin that left 2 passengers hospitalized as a result of severe turbulence, ground stops at Newark International Airport. But here's the bit of good news. Travel prices, the lowest we have seen in years. Prices at the pump, lowest since we've seen since 2021. Hotel tickets, we see round trip tickets at the lowest prices. So probably a big factor in why we are seeing the numbers that we are.
Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network at 8, it's an episode of Pro Foot Volleyball, Episode 1. Then at 10:30, it's Outdoors Delmarva. Coming up, happier news out of Chincoteague, a mystery foal, and new information on them after this. You might remember this story. There was a mystery foal in Chincoteague. They didn't know where it came from. Well, saltwater cowboys think they might know now the origin of the 102nd foal born this year. The foal turned up last Tuesday following the mare named Marshmallow. Saltwater cowboys now think the foal's mother was a mare named Fancy Free. Now, listen to this. Fancy Free is a maiden mare. That means these horses are more likely to be unattached to their foals, so it's believed the foal took a nap, Fancy Free walked away, and according to the Chincoteague Volunteer Fire Company, now everything's good and all ponies have been accounted for. The Trump administration is trying to get personal information. Recently, the Department of Justice sent state election officials letters. They're seeking unredacted copies of voter registration databases. That would include voter names, birth dates, addresses, driver's license, even the last 4 digits of Social Security. The DOJ says it wants to maintain accurate voter rolls, but opponents say that's overstepping and violating voter privacy. Today marks 40 years since explorers located the wreckage of the Titanic. Former Navy officer Robert Ballard and French oceanographer Jean-Louis Michel found it using an unmanned submersible called the Argo. Argo was investigating debris when it found the Titanic's massive boilers. A murder investigation is underway in Nevada after authorities said a man was found dead at the Burning Man Festival Saturday night. The local sheriff's office says the victim was found lying in a pool of blood at the campsite. The cause of death not immediately clear, and the man's identity not known. Police described the man's death as a singular crime. Burning Man started August 24th, and it does end today. Let's take one more live look outside. A beautiful Monday on Delmarva. One more check on your forecast after this. Coming up new on Coast TV News at 6, the origins of Labor Day, how the summer send-off came to be, and more.
All right. In Dover, we'll have temperatures in the 70s. We'll drop back to the 60s pretty quickly. Our umbrella giveaway winner, Barbara Sueda of Millsboro. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration, Home Remodeling. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line. Sponsored by the law offices of Bruxted, Medalis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. We're going to be stair-stepping our way into the 80s by the time we get to the end of the work week. And Sunday, football kicks off.
All right, Paul, thank you. And thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5. For more news and local weather, you can download our app. Inside Edition is up next, but we'll see you just a little bit later for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great night.